Town of Norton Zoning Board of Appeals meeting, October 16. We're starting a little late this evening, apologies, 7:09 p.m. for start time. Tom Noel, Chair, along with Brian Spangler, Jim Tenore. Who's that? Oh, it's Lucas Wozniak, our Building Commissioner, Mr. Iafrede, and Mr. Carmichael, our fearless staff person responsible for these new surroundings. We're in the new town hall for the first time. We've got 3 items on the agenda, 3 hearing items. The first is continued application for 0 Burt Street. Applicant is Dan Rich. Is Mr. Rich present tonight?
He said he wasn't going to be attending. He was going to give you the continuance letter, which I sent out this afternoon, and then he wasn't going to attend.
I didn't see that. Did you send it to us by?
Email.
By email.
Okay, I didn't check that. I checked it at around noon time or 1 o'clock, so I didn't check it after I was tied up. I didn't know, sorry. Thank you.
It's fine.
So continue to the next hearing.
In November.
He has to continue it to November 20th.
Okay, is that our hearing date? November 20th?
Yep.
Oh,
That's
that
the one I
seems late.
recorded.
Okay, so is there a motion to accept that? He's going to get us a letter, so on Attorney Rich's word.
He sent us the...
Oh, he did send us a letter. I didn't see it. Is there a motion to continue the hearing 0 Burt to November 20th, which creates issues because Mr. Spangler is not going to be part of our board?
You're right.
But
No,
I think we have to continue it at his,
Request.
I would say we should continue it till then. And we will ask Mr. Wozniak to view the prior hearings, segments, and sign that form.
Well, yeah.
We'll have to get in the dates that we've talked about it. It was 2 or 3 meetings, right? It wasn't very long either time, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes each time, but gonna have to point you in that direction and ask that. There's a motion to continue to November 20. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Further discussion? All those in favor, Mr. Tenore?
Yes.
Mr. Spangler?
Yes.
Mr. Noel votes yes as well. So that is continued, and I didn't see that. I have to check the town email later than 12 or 1 o'clock, I guess. Next is the continued public hearing for 0 East Main Street, Island Brook LLC. I see Mr. Itani is here, and counsel. And you sent us a letter on October 4, correct?
Yes.
I did see that. Requesting continuance, or are you going to present something this evening?
So if I may...
I'll
Mr. Chairman.
recognize counsel to discuss where we are.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Christopher Agostino, counsel for Island Brook LLC. On October 4th, I sent a letter to the board indicating that the peer review of the final plan set would not be complete in time for this evening's hearing to have a robust discussion about some of those final details we were discussing. However, since we were on the agenda, and as this year has flown by, as we've tried to troubleshoot some of these issues regarding phasing of the project and approval of final plans, we looked ahead, and the permit is set to expire now in January of 2025, before which time we would have to commence construction in order to ensure that the permit doesn't lapse. So I figured we could use this evening's hearing to apply for, per my letter of October 4th, a 3-year extension of the permit term, so that we can have that discussion tonight, confirm an extension, and then save all of our time for the next hearing, at which point we should have the peer review from Graves Engineering back, with plenty of time for the board and any other town officials or other boards that might be interested in reviewing and providing comment, so that the board can hopefully be in a position to discuss and review the plans at that hearing, and hopefully endorse final plans then. So the question for the board for this evening is the requested 3-year extension to the permit termination date.
Was that in the letter?
Yes, yeah, letter of October 4th.
Okay. Apparently, I read it, but apparently I didn't read it closely enough. I didn't see that part of the letter as a request. But that's fine. Can I ask do we know where Graves is on the review and their recommendations?
We don't know precisely where they are, but we do know that our plan set has been submitted to them. We had hoped that their peer review would be ready this evening, but their Graves is funded with peer review fees.
Yes.
They're engaged, they're working on it, they understand
Okay.
the evolution of the plan set and the issues that the board was looking to vet as far as the phase 1 and phase 2 of the project. And by all accounts, they will have a full peer review well in advance of November 20th, hopefully at least 10 days in advance, so that we can get that to the board and
Discuss it
we
that
can
night.
have a robust discussion at that hearing.
Okay, thank you. So there's a request from the applicant to continue the deadline, which has been continued a couple times anyway, through no fault of the applicant, I think. Period of 3 years, which is, can you speak as to why you would want 3 years as opposed to 1?
That was
or-
my question.
Sure.
That was going to be one of my
Go ahead,
questions.
Yeah, I think the board's experience this year actually demonstrates how these things can take longer than anticipated. We had actually submitted what we believed was a final plan set in November of last year. And where the board meets once a month, and it's a volunteer board, and you always have busy schedules, it just, as a matter of course, takes time to look at these things. So our thought in requesting a 3-year extension was to ensure, number one, plenty of time to complete an endorsement of the final plan set. And then, number two, once that's completed, we actually then have to go to Mass Housing and get Mass Housing's final approval before we can actually put a shovel in the ground. So that process right now is running 6 to 8 months. So it could be well into 2025 before we hear back from them. And it might be fall, it might not be the right time to put a shovel on the ground at that point. So rather than, take up the board's time in repetitive extension requests where, this project is ripe to begin as soon as we're able to get all our ducks in a row, we figured just a 3-year extension would be sufficient so that we wouldn't have to revisit that issue.
So it would be 3 years from January, whatever the date is. The decision usually resets that, but we could always make a decision, assuming a grant of the new plans. We could keep that January 2028 date.
I'm a little confused. I believe the permit lapse date is independent of a new submission of revised or modified plans. It runs off the
Right.
original grant. So right now, it's January 21st, 2025.
Understood.
Okay.
I'm saying it maybe a little bit differently. The decision normally would say applicant from the date of this signing of the decision has 3 years.
Oh,
If that doesn't come till after January, and, we don't know, we don't have to reset that date. We can, with a 3-year date, we can set that as January 2028. It's hard even to think what year that's going to be. That's 3 years from this January. And we don't have to extend it further necessarily when we do a decision.
Gotcha.
That's all I'm getting at.
understood.
With that in mind, I don't see any downside to saying no to the extension.
No.
This is on the original permit that was issued and extended already to this coming January.
And part of the reason why it extended was me, anyways, not being able to come a couple months or twice, I think.
But I'm not sure that delayed anything.
I get it.
But yeah, I understood that delays happen on both sides, and now we're waiting for the engineer, so. With that in mind, I think the first vote is whether this is a substantial or insubstantial change request, or is that assumed not to be substantial because it's just a time request?
It's presumed to be insubstantial. If the board wants to make that finding, they can.
Let me ask for that vote, that's the way I'm remembering the statute, the regs. I'd suggest a motion to find the applicant's time extension request to run from this January of 2025 to the appropriate date. I'm going to leave the date blank because I don't have it in front of me, in January 2028. that is a non-substantial or an insubstantial request under the meaning of the bylaw, which only means that we're granting it. Is there such a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Spangler. Any further discussion? I already
Nope.
had my say about the
Yep, I agree.
further extension at the point of a decision. We can decide at that point if it's warranted or not. So all those in favor that this is a non-substantial request, change request? Mr. Tenori?
Yes.
Mr. Spangler?
Yes.
And Mr. Noel votes yes. I think that actually then says you get the request as not substantial, but why don't we do another motion to grant the request as announced by council tonight for that 3-year extension to run to the, again, same date in January 2028.
It's,
Mr. Tenori, do you
The
make,
21st, Mr. Chairman. if you
it's the
want.
21st, thank you.
January 21st, 2028 would be the request, thank you.
Is there such a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion?
No.
Mr. Tenori, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Spangler?
Yes.
And Mr. Noel votes yes. So it's done either way. I think all we needed was the insubstantial vote, because then I think it's automatic, but we covered the bases. Amy won't yell at us for messing up.
No, very much thorough, Mr. Chairman, thank
Okay,
you.
and keep us surprised again before the next meeting if you
Yes.
can. If you get something, or there's communication to be had, don't hesitate to communicate with us through Mr. Carmichael. Is there anything else this evening then?
No, not this evening, Mr. Chairman.
And, as to Graves' progress especially, let us know ahead of time where we are.
Yeah, we'll send an email tomorrow to request an update, just to make sure we're still on schedule, but last report was,
Okay,
we were actually, again, hoping for this evening, but...
I understand. And Graves is going to alert us anyway, so they'll come to us. So thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, thank you. Appreciate it. Good night.
Have a good night.
Okay, so next is the application for a variance, 79 West Main Street. Mark Esperti?
That's me, yep.
You are. You can speak from there, that's fine, or unless the camera, would you prefer? Okay. I need this. Do you have, does anyone have printed papers?
Nope, but you want this?
Somewhere.
There you go.
Want to email it to me, or just?
So go ahead, take a look. Yeah, take my computer. I looked at
You
it.
take mine, what's wrong with documents? Just joking.
It's a touchscreen if you want to move it.
So this is for a variance. My apologies, I had not seen on the agenda that this was up. Is this something we can look at in the moment? And
Yeah.
so, Mr. Applicant, Mr. Esperti?
Yep.
Why don't you just tell us simply what it is you're looking to do and the variance request that you think is needed?
So I was in front of the planning board last night to get a special permit approved to convert 79 West Main Street from a single family to a duplex. I need relief from a couple dimensional regulations because the village commercial zoning has a duplex needing, I believe, 26,000 feet total lot, 120 feet frontage, and the 10 feet, 10 feet for a side setback. Those are the three dimensions that the existing structure is not, existing structure and existing land are not in conformance with. So that is my reasoning for the request tonight. And last night's decision was also contingent on tonight's approval.
Okay, understood. Is there a way that you can show us what we're looking at for the plan, or?
I do have some.
Mr. Iafrede, do you have knowledge of what's here?
Yep.
To walk us through? That maybe, excuse me, I'm sorry, Mr. Esperti, let me ask.
Do you have the plan up on your computer?
I do, and unfortunately, we can't project it tonight. That's
Yeah,
what,
well,
not a good night for me not to have the papers.
I can do the Zoom, but I can't give it to you guys on a big monitor.
Why don't you do it to Zoom, the plan sheet, so at least people, anybody following can see it.
This building is not part of the plan. So basically, Mr. Chairman, this is a pre-existing structure, as I'm sure some of us are aware.
The shaded, the diagonal,
The diagonal shaded area is the structure itself.
got it?
So currently, the occupancy permit is for a single-family residence.
That's a different lot. That's a different lot.
And what this plan shows is the back
Yeah,
corner of the building
thanks, Lucas.
is 2 foot 2 inches from that property line.
But it's already there.
It's already existing.
Yeah.
They actually, the quick history of this, not that it's applicable here, but it may be to you guys, the quick history is this structure at one point was over the property line. This structure sat on 3 different properties at one point in time. And the previous owner went through land court, I believe, to move some property lines and create this structure so that it's on this one property.
One parcel.
And this is what they essentially came up with. So therefore, the reason Mark is in front of us today is because of the change in use from a single family to a duplex.
That's the variance.
That's what triggered the need for the variance request.
Is it because this is a previous, a non-conforming use present? Or is
No.
this a straight variance?
It's just a straight variance. It was the structure itself was already there.
Yeah,
We can call it pre-existing non-conforming single-family home.
there's no change to the footprint?
No change to the footprint of
It's
the
all
structure.
internal,
It's
right?
just use.
Yep, so it's just the use inside the building, so the structure is not expanding.
Yeah. Was this before us a year or two ago by an owner
May
who
have-
said,
it may have
who
been
said
one of our
they
issue
were going to do it down the line?
Correct, I believe the previous owner was looking for some type of relief with the previous situation, when the property line,
Yeah, with the pool house.
With the pool,
It was-
it went through the back of the
This
corner of
is
the
the pool
pool.
house property.
it is the pool.
Yeah, it is the pool house property, I just
This
now
is-
recognized it.
Yeah.
It's the Butch Rich
This was-
property.
Yeah, this was in front of
This
us.
is the old Rich
Yeah.
property.
Yep.
I didn't know this was the same. Why does it looks different?
Well, yeah,
We were looking at the other side, we were looking at the Rich property, not this
Yeah.
one.
This is the old Rich
This was
property.
one, right.
This is one of them.
Okay, I was actually thinking of a different app, but I get you.
I didn't recognize
So
it.
through land court, ultimately, I don't know if it was Dan or Attorney Rich or who in that family.
That was just a year ago,
They,
wasn't it?
yeah, they moved the property line, and then now, because of the change in use, Mark is before us just for relief from what the bylaw requires for a duplex in a village commercial zoning district, so.
Mr. Spurdy, are you the contractor or the owner?
Both, yeah.
Both, okay, I didn't realize that.
So for what it's worth,
So is the pool still in there? That's what I need to know.
It is?
I swim in that pool.
Yeah, there's still a pool.
I swim in that pool. I used to swim in that pool.
so Mark hasn't created any of these hardships.
Yeah.
They
No,
kind of, he
I-
inherited them, right?
It's a
But
special case,
yes,
I get it.
it's interesting, but due to the circumstances and the change in use, that's why.
Do we
Ultimately,
the other
have
one
this
was-
land court decision? Sorry, Jim.
No.
Do we have that in the file?
I don't know, I've never seen it because it really didn't need to come, I never got it.
Well, do you say, yeah, this is the right plot plan? I mean, how do you match up the current plot plan to
There's a
the?
stamp on it.
It's
This
stamped.
is certified.
It's certified
Certified
stamp.
and stamped, I'm fine with
This
So
it.
is
we go by
certified.
that, we go by that.
Yeah, so by the registered design professional that Mark hired to do this would have searched this in the registry and calculated one way or another based off of what was recorded with this property.
So, Mr. Spurdy? I'm sorry.
Correct.
Is that the case that this went through land court and your understanding is that this is the legal lot line now that's shown here?
Yeah, correct. And when I bought it, it was heavily scrutinized because of the
Yeah,
little bit of a
I would
wonkiness.
think.
So, title insurance, so yeah, there's a lot of eyeballs on this before it gets transferred.
I would think.
Yeah, that was the, okay, they withdrew without prejudice because
Yeah.
of that lot line.
Yes.
I thought that was only a year ago, but
It was a
whatever.
little more.
I actually believe it was the neighbor looking
Yeah.
for a side yard setback variance on the shed, because there's a shed that's only, yeah, I'm not sure the dimensions on it in this plan, but
Okay.
it's very close to the property
Do we
line.
care about driveways and parking when it goes to a duplex?
It's in the bylaw.
It's in the bylaw.
I don't know if if a variance is needed for that.
I'm just asking.
We can ask Nick or we can ask the applicant. I mean, he's asking only for that one variance relief at this point.
So the driveway that's gonna be used though, is that the front driveway off the main street
Yeah.
or any of the,
He shows.
No, I
parking.
don't own any access to that rear driveway.
yeah, so it's only in front?
So it's a front, yeah, it's expanding the front driveway.
So the gray hashed out and the 5 parking spots are shown, but I'm not sure if Like,
Those
do
are
we have to
parking
approve
spaces.
anything on that?
If he can meet the requirements of the bylaw, there's nothing for you to approve.
Right.
Okay.
And
If he
that's up
couldn't,
to Nick to look at, I guess, so.
Okay.
if he couldn't meet the requirements of the parking bylaw, then he would ask for
Yeah.
relief from the board.
So as far as we know,
We've had these conversations
Yeah.
on multi-unit type structures before, so.
but this won't be a broad
But
stamp of
it
approval.
fits, so
Based
yeah,
off
you're
a
right.
bedroom
Yeah,
count
yeah.
and stuff like that, so.
This won't be just an all-encompassing stamp of approval, it's just granting a variance to convert.
And then,
Is that a variance issue?
No, so you have, in front of you, Mr. Chairman, you have the request for, go back to the application. You have request for variance on lot size, on the minimum frontage requirement,
Okay, well, that's what thank you.
and then the side yard setback.
Lot size,
So lot size, frontage, and side yard setback relief.
okay,
that's
that's,
pre-existing though.
It's pre-existing, the hardship is that it's pre-existing, he didn't create it.
and it was created by the court, I mean,
Right.
to conform to reality.
Correct.
That's what I was asking, because, I mean, I didn't think of variance for converting the use.
There's
In
no
fact, there are
such
no
thing as a use
use,
variance.
right,
yeah.
so that's
But
up to
this
the
is-
planning board.
It's a funny one, because he's changing the use, it requires
Yep,
some of this stuff as a 1A bullet point, we'll call it, on his roadmap to success, I guess is the way.
thank you.
And the
And there you
plan,
go. That's it. So relief from minimum lot size for duplex from 26,000 to 14,482 square feet, I assume that is. Relief from minimum continuous frontage from 120 to 100.5. And relief from minimum side yard, yeah, to 2.2, which is the obvious one. So those three elements of variance. Questions from the board? Brian?
No.
No, it seems straightforward to me.
Thank you for pointing that out, though, that's what I was looking for. You know, something we could put into a vote.
Do you, I don't know if we have the public on there.
we have a Mike P, but I don't know.
Let me ask, thank you. Is there anybody attending remotely, virtually, who wants to speak in favor of or in opposition to this application?
Oh, it's Peter.
No?
No, it's Mike P.
Okay, I don't hear any, I can hear something, but I don't hear.
He's eating. He
Said no,
said no.
okay. That's fine. And seeing nobody else in attendance in the room, is there a motion to close the public hearing for this matter?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Mr. Tenori, how do you vote to close the public hearing?
Yes.
Mr. Spangler?
Yes.
Mr. Noel votes yes as well. Now, for discussion, I don't see any problem with this. Glad that it was cleared up in a way that it can be used to the maximum efficiency. We had sent them away, and that's always frustrating because we said there's nothing we can do
Right.
back then, whether it was a year or two ago. So glad to see it worked out. I mean, the minimum frontage is not such a big change. The side yard setback is significant, but
It's
the
actually better than it
hardship
was.
is- Yeah, at least it's in the same yard.
Right, at least it's in the same yard.
So I don't see a problem to grant.
Right.
Agree?
Yeah.
Is there a motion to approve a variance relief for this parcel as stated on the application, a relief for minimum lot size for duplex from 26,000 to 14,482 square feet, from minimum frontage from 120 to 100.5, and relief from the minimum side yard setback 10 feet to 2.2 feet in the, what corner is that? Do you see it there?
You can say the rear left corner.
I can say the rear left corner.
Rear
is
left corner.
On the plan of record.
Yeah.
Sure. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Sure, you don't want to make the motion, your last,
I can't screw up the
you can't.
procedure.
Okay.
Leave
There's
it
a
order.
second. Second on the motion, any further discussion?
Nope.
I think the hardship was shown, is obvious, and it conforms to reality. Mr. Miller, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Spangler?
Yes.
Mr. Noel votes yes as well. So I guess you have to report that back to the planning board.
Yep.
And,
Actually, no, because the planning board approved it last night.
Well, contingent on, okay.
All contingent on it.
So you've got it already then. Thank you for coming before us to present this, and sorry for the confusion, but
Oh, thank you, Board
good
members. I
luck,
appreciate
good
it.
luck to you. We'll drop a decision as soon as we can. Then, of course, there's an appeal period, you know how that works.
Yep.
Good luck with the building.
Thank you,
All
appreciate
right?
it.
Thank you. Jim, thanks. I printed it out and everything, I guess, just look at these two.
Tax
Sorry,
dollars.
I thought I mentioned it.
You did. And you gave it to me, I just didn't look it up. Who knows? I just moved my office last month, so I'm discombobulated.
And so having down.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, yeah, good luck, good luck. Brian Spangler, this item is, I don't know if it's on the agenda, I don't think it is.
Doesn't need to be.
Doesn't need to be. Mr. Spangler is leaving us after, what was it, 10, 15 years?
Yeah, I think it was closer to 20 or so.
Okay, well, after how many, however many?
How's your pension?
Yeah. Get a gold pen?
Yeah.
Gold pen. Yeah, we got a big pen.
Did I get to pick
Yeah,
a
big
gift?
pen.
Pick a gift from a magazine or something?
Under $25.
We have, for our careful consideration, we don't want to give these out willy-nilly, but a certificate of appreciation
Yeah.
for Brian Spangler
Thank you.
for, wait, we have to vote on it.
Oh, you do?
A certificate presented to Brian Spangler for his commitment and service to the town of Norton zoning board since 2022. Does anybody have a problem with this certificate?
It's not signed, is it?
No, but I'm going to.
All right,
Stamp.
then I have no problem with
We
it.
have unanimous consent, great.
you couldn't have put it in
October, what's the?
I know,
What's the
exactly.
date, 16? What?
It's actually a photocopy of a
Yeah.
vote.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Backside
It's
letter
worth
would be
more.
a-
They waited it out.
So what about the other guy?
Waited out, Willie's date. Yeah, what's this? Underneath here. Hey, thank you, Brian. Silly of me to sign.
Thank you, yeah. No, it's-
Appreciate
it's
it,
been a
man.
blast.
So this is what you get for your dedicated service for 2
It's a
years.
More than I expected.
All right, all right. Yeah, the pension hasn't kicked in.
No, I said something similar last time, but thank you all. You know, it's been a blast. I bummed, bittersweet, you know.
I'm bummed because I have to show up again.
Now you're gonna have to-
I'm at home with 4 kids.
Has to do something now, but,
Sorry, I'm back to work.
really appreciate it. It's been fun and,
Your participation has been right on cue, I mean, right on point on all these matters. You're always asking good questions and pointing out things that aren't apparent, so thank you.
yeah, appreciate it.
I know where I live, if you ever need anything.
Yeah, yeah,
Knock on the door.
appreciate that.
I might not be there, but my wife will help you out.
If you don't move, you're not off the board. We're going to make your leaving contingent on the actual move, so
What are you moving
You
to?
never know. Plainville.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too far.
good luck. Get involved there, I hope you do.
I'll try, yeah. Yeah, I'll try.
I hope you do
They
that.
have 5-year terms there on their zoning board,
Ah.
so I gotta wait a little while. But-
We had 10-year terms, but, you know, we made an exception for you.
Oh, yeah? Just for me, huh? Yeah.
But good luck.
We're not desperate
Thanks, keep in
anymore.
touch.
Brian, thanks for
You're welcome.
Yeah, frame
putting
it.
that together. That's great. Yeah.
All right,
Well, good luck.
Thanks, man.
you're not off yet. Are there any items to come before us?
Well, actually,
I took a look at the minutes, and I am comfortable with what I remember, and they are accurate.
Okay,
So it's up to you if you want to.
yeah, is there a
I'll make a motion to approve.
do we have a vote to approve the minutes?
Hold on, I'll tell you what minutes.
I don't think any of them are when I was even here, right?
no, they were,
There were?
back when you first started, basically.
I started in December of 22.
Right, yeah. So we have some stuff from 23.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Because he was.
I'm not that far back.
I guess I have to vote.
Do you know which ones?
So, yeah, so we got
two, and then the first
So
5 or
it's
6.
January 11th of 2023. We got February 8th of 2023 and March 8th of 2023.
Those three?
Those three.
I thought there was 5.
Was there really? I only saw, oh, you know what?
It's a good spot for it.
Well, you can vote the top
Yep.
3.
Do those three.
No, I looked at them. The only one I didn't look at was December 14th.
I didn't have the cash flow.
So, so you got March 8th of 2023 and July 23rd of 2024. I've seen all those. I did not see December, so I'll do that next time, but those 4 are good.
Is that 4 or 5?
That's 4. I didn't do the 5th one.
That's who the one.
Okay.
Do you want me to take a quick look?
The top
We can do it all?
No, we can do it next time.
Come around like that.
Oh, well, I guess, Brian.
Yeah, let's, hold on, give me
Yeah.
2 seconds.
All right.
I don't think I need to abstain from it, was that all, we can assume, because it's just been the 3 of us.
Right.
We wouldn't have had a meeting if some of us weren't here. Right.
Right.
I'm not sure.
It's a formality.
I don't know.
But that's another restaurant too.
Yeah.
And unless Brian dropped
Yeah.
a word in there that doesn't belong.
In Parker's Pub.
Yeah, you can change it to anything now that I'm gone. You can say I said anything.
Yeah, but I'm sure everyone's going to be looking and saying, Brian wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I think I'm good with that one too, so we'll approve all 5.
Okay.
So we'll do January 11th, 2023, February 8th, 2023, March 8th, 2023, July 23rd, 2024, and December 14th, 2024.
Not, the last one is
We haven't got to December.
Oh, 23, my bad.
23, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Pre-approving?
I'm pretty approving, let's do it all.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
And no further discussion? All
Nope.
those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, and is there nothing else before us tonight? The fabulous new town hall, congratulations. Mr. Carmichael built it himself, funded it himself.
I know Nick
Did
did
he?
buy it somehow, right?
Crazy, right?
Nick waived all the regulations.
That's all I did.
And, no, it's nice. We'll get used to this, and it'll be cozy warm in the winter. We can build a fire. No, we can't build a fire. All right, thank you very much. Motion to adjourn at 7:42, not bad.
Almost a record.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye.